Hey guys, it's your boy View Bob Singer here again, because in real life my last name is Spiewak, which directly translates to singer. Pretty clever, right? Well anyway, today we're doing a bit of an obscure track, shall I say. Hyper Lenny by the Zom Zoms. Let's go. Woo! Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Today in class, I'm gonna take a smoke break. You all just relax. I'm gonna bring out my briefcase that I brought to class with my test samples. Nobody think about urinating in them. Hyper Lenny, I'm looking in your direction. Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Ow! Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Ow! Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Wow! Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Ow! What? Someone has urinated in my briefcase? Someone has tampered with my test samples? Oh, my life's work. Who did this? Hyper Lenny? No! Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Wow! Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Oh! Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Wow! I pledge allegiance to the Anti-Hyper Lenny Committee, to the Republic, which it stands, one Lenny, on his knees, being reamed. Oh, I've got a pencil, Lenny. This thing I do. I've got a pencil, Lenny. I'm gonna stab you in the head with a pencil, Lenny. Oh, it's gonna be so wonderful, Lenny. Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Wow! Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny, Hyper Lenny. Wow! Hyper Lenny.